sound speed, camera speed, and action! Welcome to another Create Greg video. My name is Greg. In today's episode, we will carry on discovering how to take your drone footage to the next level. Last week, we've been talking about the 5 tips to make your drone footage look cinematic. And this week, I would like to focus on 10 must-known camera moves to level up your drone shots. When you think about the drone and capability of the camera, the fact you can fly in different planes give you more camera moves to stand out from the crowd, comparing to the camera you can do handheld or even carry on the handheld gimbal. Once you finish this video, I would love you to understand all of them and apply to your drone shots, where the first 5 will be more about the camera movements and drone operation, where another 5 will be how you can get specific shots to spicing up your drone footage. Without further ado, let's go into first one, which is simple flying forward. By the fact being the simplest shot, you can still turn it into your favor by paying attention what you've got in your frame. So if you've got some amazing landscape, or you shoot at golden hour to get that lovely colors, or you've got some moving objects into frame, despite the fact you've got just only push forward movement of your camera, you can still get that lovely cinematic look despite putting little effort into your camera movement. So the next one will be side to side / rising shot. Is the movement when you move your drone from left to right or right to left, showing the panoramic view of what's in front of your camera, or the one which you're flying with your drone up and down, which can be called jib or crane movement when you rise your drone up. Both of these movements are still simple, and to make them work, the same rule apply as with the first one. You have to pay attention what you've got in your frame, and you have to be sure what you see through the camera will be interesting for the viewer. Number 3, we've got our pan and tilt camera movement. With the pan movement, a bit of caution, because when you've got your drone up in the air and you move your camera from left to right, for instance, it looks like CCTV in operation, which is fairly boring, but there is way how to get similar look and make it more interesting. It will be called panorama curve movement. So basically what you do, you're flying your drone from side to side by yawing and doing this curve movement, which will give you more interesting panoramic view. The next one will be tilt, and this is one of my favorite, because this one is good for opening scene or transition, when you fly your drone and you pan down or pan up your camera to give this nice change of perspective, which is very unique for the drone. The next very cool camera movement is called orbit shot or parallax, when you've got your object in the center and you fly your drone around it, revealing what's around it. Yeah, what's around it. It's called parallax because your background moves faster than your foreground, not mentioning to show your subject in a very dynamic way from every single angle. Very cool one, and definitely worth to keep in mind. When you use DJI drone, they've got the built-in orbit tracking option, so you can just mark your subject and press one button and the drone will do most of the job. Very easy, but the effect definitely worth it. And the next one, and number 5, will be top-down view or bird-eye view, called differently. It's the moment when we've got our drone above the subject and the camera is pointing directly down, giving us this unusual Google Earth perspective. A side note, if you're trying to find some interesting places to shoot from bird eye view angle, you can actually go on Google Earth and do a bit of research to see how things look from the top down view, What is cool about this view, it gives you this interesting variety. So if you insert that into your video, it will definitely allow you to stand out. To make it even more interesting, while keeping camera pointing down, you can do different movements with your drone, from rotating or going side to side, or actually flying upward and downward, revealing what's under your drone. Even if you decide to do a static shot, as I decided to do for the running couple, you can actually modify that shot in post-production by doing digital zoom, which will look like you were flying drone up or down, despite the fact it was static shot. We are halfway through of our list. If you are still with me and you enjoyed so far, feel more than welcome to click that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. If not, bear with me with another 5 camera movement, because this one will be more interesting and practical. So the number 6 will be reveal shot. It's kind of combination of all the 5 previous, but we will apply to achieve a certain look to enhance our visual storytelling. The first one can be flying forward and up to reveal what's behind a building, for instance, like a sunrise. Then we can go flying forward with panning up your camera to revealing what's in front of us. Then we can go from right to left to reveal what's behind the tree. And the last one can be reverse flying to reveal a lighthouse, for instance, and then to reveal a seagull flying into frame to spicing up our footage. This shot is ideal to introduce your audience to your video and using as an opening shot. Instead of boring establishing shot, you can use this reveal shot to start your video or move from one chapter to another. The next number 7 is the classic called dolly zoom or vertigo shot, named after Alfred Hitchcock movie The Vertigo when they used it for the first time. This dolly zoom effect creates an optical illusion by moving your drone towards or away from the subject while zooming in the opposite direction. Normally this kind of effects you have to achieve in camera in the past. There's one drone from DJI called DJI Mavic Zoom, which you can get in camera effect. However, you can achieve similar result in post-production. Another cool camera movement is tracking shot. The idea behind it is to follow the subject within the frame by using all type of camera movements we've learned so far. So it could be bird's eye view, it can be from side to side, or even the simple one like flying forward by following the object. The key to make that shot work, you have to match your camera and drone movement with the movement of your subject. If you manage to do it, you will get that very nice cinematic shot. Just imagine how you can use it with your next video, how you can put your protagonist or the point of interest in the middle of the frame and track it while flying your drone. The next will be low altitude flying. When we fly from the above, everything is moving slowly because of the perspective. But once we decide to fly close to the ground, we see how everything moves so quickly. This shot can increase sense of speed flying very close to the object, and it's very typical for FPV drones. Not a huge fan of it, maybe because I'm not FPV drone pilot. I use it kind of once when I need to fly under the bridge with my Mavic Air to reveal what's after the bridge. It worked out fairly cool, but what we have to remember, it can be very impressive in certain scenarios. And the final number 10, the pinnacle of all shots, creme de la creme, namely master shot. The idea of it is to use your drone in a single take to tell the whole story. I tried to do a couple of times. One of them I've done with a friend of mine, Jason, who's a unicyclist. We had an idea of him jumping on the stairs while me passing him and flying up to pass the building and reveal the Edinburgh Castle and a beautiful view of the city. see, which turned out pretty cool. But the true masterpiece of this kind of shots you can find from guys like Sam Calder or John FPV, who specialize in flying the small, crazy, fast drones, which you can maneuver in pretty much every single plane. But even if you are not FPV drone pilot and you do not have one, next time think how you can use your drone to tell the whole story from beginning to end. This single exercise will force your creativity how to apply all these different movements and create a single self-contained story. Try it next time. Feel more than welcome to tag me or send over to me. I would like to see your master shot. Guys, thank you very much for staying with me until the end. I hope you enjoy it. If yes, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like it at all, drop a comment what you didn't like it, or even more important, how I can improve my next video. At the end of the day, it's all about growing through your content creation. So any constructive feedback, drop them down in comments. Thank you very much for staying with me until the end, and bang! Woo! I wish it was as easy as the final edit. Damn, it takes so long to record this kind of video, but practice made perfect. So if you are into recording YouTube videos, keep pushing, keep recording, keep posting, and eventually you will become better at it. That's my 2 cents.